Welcome to Soul Code Tarot. You're with me, Catherine. I'm so glad you're here. This is a message for the Lightworkers, and I hope this really resonates. Yesterday I did a channeled reading for the Lightworkers as well, and it came through with gratitude and lightness. So I really wanted to see what was happening today in the collective. So if you're identifying as a light worker or have identified as a light worker, this message is for you, and I hope that it gives you some deep inner sense of grounded landing, potential sort of outflow of information that can guide you on your journey at the moment. There's so much heaviness in the world, and if you're anything like me, the last year it's been very, very tricky to even think about sort of light work in the world. What do I mean by light work in the world? Well, anything that brings lightness, brightness, health, wellness, prosperity. You could be a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher, tarot and oracle card reader. So I'm just taking a moment here to clean the cards and shuffle, and just coming into asking your angels, archangels, your guides, the light workers guides in the collective to come through this reading. Any ascended masters here with us, bodhisattvas and Avalokiteshvara. So helping you understand what is going on in the collective, in the non-local fields of reality, so that you can tap into those frequencies, apply them to your situation, because this is a collective light workers reading, and then just see how the frequencies and the energies align with what's going on with the storylines and the timelines in your life. So the first card out here as I was shuffling was soothed. So if you're feeling fractured or feeling like you need some help, Spirit is saying you are soothed, and the underlying message here is may you settle gently even as the wave breaks above. May you settle gently, beautiful card, even as the wave breaks above. So feeling soothed by Spirit. And actually today, after that 11:11 portal, which was a tremendous amount of intense energy, I have actually found today that there was an incredible sense of feeling soothed. It was very interesting. More messages, please, for light workers. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and resilient. This also came out in one of the readings, resilient. So we're needing to be resilient at the moment. The frequencies and the energies in the non-local fields that are traveling through are very intense, and obviously astrologically everything is really intense as well. So resilience. May your soul weather the storms. So Spirit is saying very much aware there that we are traveling through a stormy period. That's what it feels like. That post 11:11 portal really came to clear away. Now, what does a storm do? It sort of clears the energy. So may you be soothed. Just stay resilient as the storm passes. How do we do that? We listen to motivational spiritual talks. We meditate, we contemplate, go for walks in nature, drink more water, listen to tarot and oracle readings that really channel a lot of light, or astrologers that are really factual and able to deliver the deepest information that we need to understand what's coming through and what's hitting us at the minute. Okay, Spirit is saying bliss is on the way. So that looks very beautiful. Bliss is on the way. Okay, so noticing how bliss feels for you in your life and what's happening there. And then alive, bliss and alive. That's amazing. There we go. Okay, bliss and aliveness. Very nice. Okay, so let's see, any other last message? So soothed, light workers, you are being soothed, you are being taken care of. Spirit is saying it is going to be a time to be resilient. Bliss is on the way. So for bliss for me is like that sense of actually feeling soothed and not in a chaotic maelstrom, a storm of energies and frequencies that I can't process. The ringing in our ears, the foggy head, the exhaustion, I'm just feeling like really deep apathy. Those energies are really there and are really, powerful if they hook in and hook on. And so bliss and feeling alive is coming back online. And I really feel that after the 11:11 portal, it was like this feeling of like, whoa, how much more can go on here? And I think we're still in the ripples coming over from that, like a storm, the last gusts of wind or the last big waves that come through and rush up the shoreline, dragging away anything that's not meant to be. So if that's resonating, Spirit is saying that storm is clearing everything and there is magic on the way. That's a beautiful card there, just looking at that. Very beautiful. Magic is on the way. So you are being soothed by Spirit. If you're not feeling resilient, tap into practices, spiritual practices that give you resiliency and grounded energy, like a walk in the forest, in the fields, outside. Just know that drinking more water at the moment, I think, is really key as well. Sleeping when you need to, and then allowing moments of bliss. It could be something super simple, like watching the waves. How beautiful is that? Like watching the waves. And super simple bliss for me, I was out in the woods yesterday walking and fields, and I'm in the UK and it's November obviously, and it's pretty cold, and that we've had a cold snap, and I was just out and it was raining, drizzle, very cold, and just suddenly it turned to snow. That's really unusual for England. And I was just by chance, as that happened, out in the woods, in the fields, in the forest, and it was like almost like a blizzard, but it was thick, white, fluffy flakes, and it was so stunning. It just caused me to stop and think, wow, this just feels like bliss. It just feels like cleansing energies washing over me, and just actually brought me a sense of aliveness as well. So tune in to what brings bliss and aliveness, particularly in nature, because nature holds the magic for us at the minute. Nature holds a lot of magic and grounding energies for us. So one more message here from this beautiful Sea Oracle deck, please. Thank you. Thank you, guides, for this powerful light worker message. Okay, and persist. Yes. Resiliency and persistence is required at the moment, because it's going to probably get a little bit more heavy and a little bit more intense. I think a lot of tower moments have washed through, and sort of the residual is just, we're moving out of that residual storm energy. But after a storm, a severe storm, we have to take stock of what's gone on. We have to balance, we have to find ways to soothe ourselves. It could have been traumatic. I know the last 2 weeks or so since that 11:11 portal and building up to it, I've just been like very, very strong 3D things that have gone awry, wrong, exploded and happened. And so if that's happening to you, just sending you lots of love. Stay grounded, stay present, and I hope this reading is helping. Now, Spirit is saying as well, we've all been facing a lot of hardship. So I'm moving to the tarot now for this Lightworkers reading. So if you are a light worker and you're identifying as that in whatever format that means for you, could be that you are a teacher, yoga teacher, meditation, counselor, any of the beautiful arts that give people compassion, help and care. You yourself will have been moving through hardship as well. And when we as an individual, as a light worker, in the remit of our work, are also moving through this deep level of hardship, feeling like we've been left out in the cold with the 5 of Pentacles, feeling that we've been in really heavy battles, perhaps perhaps financial, perhaps physical, and just feeling like, you know, bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. Spirit is acknowledging that we're going to need to have resiliency, and that even though that may still be going on in life, you are being soothed, and you can access soothing frequencies from Spirit. Prayer, powerfully amazing to soothe, and just noticing again, finding what is blissful to you at least once a day, so that you can come back to a sense of your inner aliveness that feels like magic. Awe and wonder are high frequencies that we can attune to through the smallest things, like a snowstorm. And we must persist. So Spirit is saying, persist against all odds, against all hardship, light workers, persist. Why? Because if we go down in that Five of Pentacles, if we go down in the hardship, then our whole system is down, and we just can't access the higher frequencies. And I'm not saying that flippantly. I have spent 5 years in a severe burnout and extreme torsion, and just feeling like I'm not sure about how this all rolls out. Just extreme levels of apathy and dejection, you know. So when we come back, when you get a grasp of something that feels magical, just be with it for as long as you can, like the snow, something like this, something natural. Okay, because that's going to give you, wow, choice. So 2 of Wands coming in here, powerful. So as we follow through with these action points and know that Spirit is working with us as a light worker, they're bringing us a 2 of Wands energy. There are going to be options, 2 options potentially facing you shortly, beautiful light worker. And those options are they're going to feel good. It's like maybe you've been stuck and you're feeling like, I don't have any choices. I'm feeling immobilized, you know. 2 of Wands coming in is a positive sign from Spirit that is asking you to stay attuned to choices that feel right and aligned, choices that make you feel alive and full of magic. There we go. Aligned and full of magic. Wow. And judgment. That's it. Just wow. So I hope you can see that. So magic coming through, choices coming through, and judgment. This is about really feeling a deep awareness. I'm just listening into what the communication is here. A deep awareness to your own inner calling. Call on something. You know, sometimes we're asked not to judge, but sometimes we have to judge a choice. We have to choose which one's going to be the best option. Well, that judgment choice is going to be the one that gives you a sense of magic, that brings you a sense of feeling bliss and aliveness. Because if we don't keep choosing those higher frequencies, we just end up in the reverse. We end up feeling the indecisiveness. We end up feeling self-doubt. We end up feeling that we are, you know, we're in a karmic lesson that we're unwilling to sort of learn from all the time. So the choice that's coming up, light worker, beautiful light workers, if you're listening, got this far, is about a judgment call that keeps you aligned to bliss, magic, takes you out of hardship, is what I want to say. It takes you away from the hardship you've been experiencing in 2025. So that's going to be relevant to your situation and your life story. Let's see what the Spirit has to say. Wow, justice. And when you make that choice and that judgment call that is aligning you to magic, aligning you to bliss, aligning you to how you really want to feel soothed, wow, soothed, then this is coming in as a karmic justice. There is karmic justice on the way for a lot of light workers who have been feeling extremely burnt out, in a lot of hardship, perhaps being judged really not nicely, the opposite way, the sort of, we can positively judge, like this is going to keep me in alignment to my path, this is going to help me feel soothed and magic and bliss, so that will be the frequency that I can give. Or we can be negatively judged, there is negative judgment, or that person, they're always talking about spirit, God, light, and bringing in higher frequencies. They're always talking about 5D, that negative judgment on the situation. So there's some karmic justice coming in, beautiful light worker. So persist with your work in the face of hardship. Persist at the minute. I really think 2026 is a change point, and it brings us into, wow, 3 of Wands. Yes. That choice is about moving forwards into something you really want that aligns you into bliss. This is about really coming into a sense of experiencing life as bliss, in alignment. It may mean you need to travel somewhere to do that, move from your location, travel abroad even. The spirit is asking you for foresight here as well with the 3 of Wands. What are you looking towards on this pathway that you can see? And there are some choices. I know I have some choices, and it's very interesting. Soothed, bliss, alive, and magic. I was just yesterday doing something random, I don't know what it was, and I got this sudden download of like Sangha. So my career has been a yoga and meditation teacher for 20 odd years, and I love working with spiritual energies. I love working with the cards. I love tapping into the non-local field of reality and channeling, which is why you see me here as well. But I got this intense download of a pathway is coming up around Sangha and the Sangha community, around a spiritual community and being in one. So it was a very interesting download, and it stayed with me, and it's still here today. And I'm getting fleeting images and pictures from spirit, from guides, and from obviously that timeline that exists somewhere. So tap into your guides. Ask, what are the pathways? What is the thing that's going to help me feel the most soothed, that's going to help with the resiliency, that's going to bring a sense of bliss, aliveness, and magic? Okay, and it doesn't have to be like, well, I'll just book a holiday, right? We're talking about light work in the world that serves and creates prosperity for all, but you included, taking you out of that hardship. And then we have here nurturing. Yes, Queen of Cups. We all need some Queen of Cups energy, I think, some nurturing, just being held in a nurtured space to be soothed. So that taps into the soothing energy. So you are making a choice soon based on sincere, very deep Queen of Cups, emotional energy. That choice is about taking you somewhere, not necessarily somewhere physical, using foresight, insight, and tapping into that guidance system that you have, that you know you have, finding a pathway through with spirit that takes you into a more nurtured environment, takes you into feeling bliss, takes you into feeling aliveness and magic, and an environment that is nurturing, that doesn't have to keep you being in a frequency of resiliency. There is only so long that we can be really at a high peak performance level of resilient energy. I know that because I have worked with resilience, and I have to, we all do. But when it's a chronic, extended, extruded amount of resiliency that's needed because life is throwing things at you, and you may resonate with that, then we have to find spaces where we feel more soothed and more bliss, where we feel nurtured by, for example, a sangha. It doesn't have to be a yoga or Buddhist sangha or anything like this. It could just be a spiritual community that you find online that really helps you feel your feelings, helps you feel nurtured, helps you feel soothed, helps you feel more bliss and connection. So that's a very powerful message that ties in with what I was seeing yesterday. Sangha, community, simplicity, nothing that causes too much physical sort of excitement, because we're looking now for the soothing energy, the nurturing energy, the blissful energy, so that our nervous system can recalibrate from what it's been going through in that hardship. That's really, like, for sure. And one more message, please, from the tarot, please, for the light workers in the world who are listening to this and know that they have work to do. Maybe they've been in hardship, feeling burnt out. Maybe they're at the end of coping with resiliency and need some nurturing, need some help. Thank you, Spirit. The High Priestess. This is you, light worker. This is us, High Priestessing in the world, okay? So whether you're a man or a woman listening to this, this is just a frequency of embodiment. The mystery and the intuition of the High Priestess, the inner knowing of the High Priestess. When you tap into that and work with your guides, work with Spirit, work into the non-local fields of reality, you are going to make this choice of where you need to go to release the hardship you've been experiencing. And that choice is about taking the path that enables you to feel the frequency of and also become the Queen of Cups energy again. So this is powerful. You're going to need to have some foresight. And I think this foresight is that deep High Priestess energy. Spirit is saying, go into your intuition, work with the collective, work with your guides, work with the frequencies of light, and just know that that is an awareness that's maybe going to drop in suddenly as you listen to this, or after you've listened and something just appears in your awareness. So to finish this, I really wanted to tap into the White Light Oracle deck there and connect with you on a message. This white light for the light workers in the world who are reading this message, who need to feel support and guidance. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we have Aurora of Gamma. Aurora of Gamma. So beautiful card here, Aurora of Gamma. And then let's read what Aurora of Gamma has to say in this reading for you. So number 27. Let's see. Wow, I opened it almost straight to the right page. How interesting. Okay, so bear with me and listening if you want to. Thank you so much for being here for this reading. I hope it served. If you're new to my work, it would be amazing if you could like, share and subscribe. But let me read you this beautiful Aurora of Gamma. It is time to let go of what has been. You are swiftly outgrowing your past. Sorry, the light is dark in here. I can read. Let's start again. It is a time to let go of what has been. You are swiftly outgrowing your past. Explore and commit to a spiritual practice that supports your personal transformation, so that you can cross the threshold before you now. Oh, that's exactly this. There's a choice, there's two pathways. There's a choice, it's going to mean traveling inwardly and or externally. And it's about transformation, personal transformation. Commit to the spiritual practice that's going to keep you soothed, Feel magical, connected. It's that Sangha I was just talking about. Embrace your freedom to be creative to your approach. Yeah, so as I said, doesn't have to be Sangha, Dharmic Sangha or Yogic Sangha. It can literally be your choice of spiritual community in a physical location or online. Embrace your freedom to be creative in your approach rather than doggedly committing yourself to your previous ideas or plans. Yeah, there's a choice. You may already be realizing that what you've been doing in 2025 was okay, but there is ways to deepen this work or reactivate your light work, and the energy is coming toward you. You're being supported with resiliency, bliss, magic, and really a deep sense of nurturing with that Queen of Pentacles, remember. You have the spiritual intelligence necessary to evolve right now. Continue your healing journey with trust that a positive outcome is imminent. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I just love this book. It's a beautiful channeled book by Alana Fairchild. All the links are below. I really hope that has resonated. I want to send you lots of love, energy, positive thoughts, creativity, to tap into your guides, tap into your spiritual practice, tap into the collective non-local field and feel the frequencies at play. Keep yourself innovated and elevated. Know that Spirit's here to help you feel more soothed. Stay in your resiliency and be aware of choices coming up. Not necessarily choices to leave or break away, but choices that you can choose to start embodying and working with and moving with that feel deeply in alignment for your ongoing light work in the world. Now is the time, like never before, to keep going, keep persisting. Remember we had that persist card? I want to show that to you one more time before we close out. If you're feeling like stopping and you can't do this, just persist a little bit longer. It's all changing. It's all coming through. The energies are going to be changing. It's not going to stay in hardship and feeling stuck and battle weary. Sending you so much love, light and positivity for this journey ahead. Keep going. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing, and I will see you again soon. Please take care.